Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I nostri programmi sono offerti in molte lingue. Consultate suprememastertv.com/schedule.
For this coming Thanksgiving, would you like to treat your friends and family with a delicious and nutritious vegan pie? It is awesome. Watch on to find out more.
Happy Thanksgiving, blessed viewers. Welcome to the second part of our two-part show. Reverend Beth loves vegan dishes for our heartwarming Thanksgiving. I'm Mary from culturally rich Missouri, USA. Our generous people, thank you for your compassionate love that extends to all beings coexisting on the planet Earth. Today, we are honored to have Reverend Chef Beth Love on our show. As the founder of Eat for the Earth, she devotes her time and energy to this social movement that collaborates with institutions to adopt policies and practices to promote an environmentally sustainable, plant-based lifestyle to protect all life on Earth. Being a gifted speaker, facilitator, teacher, and an ordained New Thought minister, Reverend Beth Love has motivated and educated people in diverse contexts, such as nonprofit organizations, schools, churches, businesses, and the California State Prison System. She has inspired large and small groups of audience in person and through radio and television. She gives talks on local community TV and appears in high-profile TV channels, such as the Oprah Winfrey Show. She's also the author of the Taste Like Love book series. Last week, Reverend Chef Beth Love showed us how to make a colorful, tasty, and healthy raw vegan 8-layer pasta salad for a Thanksgiving feast. Today, she will demonstrate how to make a vegan chai pecan pie.
We're going to work on a dessert, a really yummy dessert called chai pecan pie. I'm going to start by demonstrating how you make the chai. So here's the spices that we're going to use, and we're going to take some of them and just put them directly in this pot. This one is some nutmeg. I just chopped it up. And then we have some dried ginger root, some dried cinnamon chips, and this is roasted chicory root. Makes it a nice, strong, full-bodied flavor and a rich color. And then we have some dried orange peel. So I'm using whole organic spices, so it'll be really healthy. And then we have 4 more spices, which I'm going to crush up a little bit just to make it easier for their flavors to come out into the liquid. That's some whole cloves, some black pepper, just whole black peppercorns. This is cardamom in the pods. And then we have the allspice, which is just whole allspice. So we're going to grind these up a little bit. They don't have to get fine. And then we take the ground up spices and put them in the pot. And we're going to put 2 quarts of water in with the spices. And then we're just going to bring it to a boil and let it simmer for about 2 to 4 hours. And that's how you can make chai. Now, after it's simmered, you can let it cool down. So here we have some prepared chai that I already boiled for 2 to 4 hours, and I'm just going to pour it into this strainer over a bowl, and you'll see all those spices. And then the next step is to take 1.5 cups of it and we're going to make the filling of the pie. And then we're going to pour it in this little pot. And we're going to add some agar flakes. So agar is a seaweed that is really good for gelling. First, we're just going to sprinkle it in to the chai and then mix it up. And now we're going to wait about 5 minutes while that softens a little bit.
Lovely viewers, we will take a moment to browse through some wonderful vegan cookbooks that contain interesting and creative ideas for home cooking. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Hello, kind viewers. Welcome back to our show. Reverend Chef Beth Love will continue to show us how to make the healthy and delicious chai pecan pie.
Baked pies are delicious. I used to be a baker, but usually to get a baked pie crust, you have to put a lot of fat in it, which is not necessarily good for human health. So I like to make a raw nut crust because then the fat is in the nut, so it's healthy for humans. So we're going to use almonds, pecans. We're going to use a little bit of dates. If you have a dehydrator, you can soak the nuts in advance, and then you can leave the dates out of the recipe, but we're doing the shorter version today. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grind up the chia seeds. This is 1.5 teaspoons of chia seeds. This is another really good gelling agent. They'll swell up quite a bit and stick things together, kind of like an egg substitute. So those are pretty fine. And I have over here a little bit of water, and we're just going to soak them in that water. Okay, so I'm going to take a spoon and just mix it up a little bit. Okay, you can see how it's getting thick and sticky, so that's going to help the crust stick together. We're just going to leave that for a moment. And we're going to grind up the crust. 3/4 cup of almonds, 3/4 cup of pecans, 2 dates, and I'm making sure to remove the pit. So you want to make sure that if there's a little stem that you remove that as well, because it wouldn't be very tasty in the crust. We don't want to get it into nut butter. So we're going to grind it until it's a coarse but sticky crumb-like texture. Let's see how this is doing. But it's still a little bit too coarse, so we're going to make it a little more fine. Okay, now we're going to add the chia seeds, the soaked chia that are right here. Okay. Let's see how that's doing. Okay, so you can see it sticks together now, right? So it's ready to be a crust. I'm going to now pour this into the pie pan. I'm going to just spread this out kind of evenly, and then I'm going to build it up just a little bit around the edges. I'm just kind of getting it evenly distributed, and then press it down to make the crust. People often don't know that plant-based foods can taste really good. In fact, studies show that taste is one of the top reasons people choose food, choose what to eat. So we want to make sure that we're giving them something that tastes good. I'm noticing my fingers are really sticky. So one of the things you can do if your fingers get too sticky is put a little water on them, and that makes it go a lot easier. So now that we've finished making the crust out of nuts and a little bit of dates, chia, we're going to make the filling. I'm going to start prepping the dates. I'm removing the pits. Now I'm going to chop the dates up a little bit. And this is about 3/4 of a cup of dates. We're going to put these dates in the food processor, and I'm just going to spread them around a little so they're not all in one clump. And then we're going to add the 1/4 cup of reserved chai, a tablespoon of vanilla, and the juice of a lemon, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we're going to process this until it's nice and smooth. I'm just going to scrape it down a little bit. It's looking pretty good. All right, so we've been waiting at least 5 minutes for this agar to soften up in the chai, and now we're going to turn it on, and then we will let it come to a boil. It's come to a simmer, and we're just going to stir it once in a while. We're going to keep the lid on as much as possible so that we don't evaporate too much of the liquid. Okay, it's 5 minutes. It's been going long enough. We're going to turn this off, and we're going to just let it cool. All right, so now our chai is cool enough. We want it lukewarm. And we're going to pour this in here. And then we're going to process it until it's nice and smooth. I'm going to pause for a moment and scrape down the parts that are up high. It's looking good. It smells delicious. That's smooth enough. So we're just going to pour it in here. I'm going to scrape out as much as possible. So then we're just going to shake it a little so it's nice and level. And then I'm going to put pecans on the top. I'm going to pour them on this plate so it's a little easier to see the sizes. And I'm just going to line them up around the edge like this. So there we have it, a chai pecan pie. Now we'll just put it in the refrigerator and chill it for at least a couple of hours, but preferably overnight. And then it will be sliceable and delicious. So I'm really glad that everybody joined us for this Thanksgiving episode, and I hope that you'll eat lots and lots of great tasting plant-based foods so that you can do your part to increase compassion in the world and to make your health better and to support a planet that we can continue living on forever and ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ingredients. For all ingredients, please use organic versions if available.
We encourage you to wear gloves when handling ready-to-eat raw foods.
For the vegan raw nut pie crust, the ingredients are 3/4 of a cup of pecans soaked overnight, 3/4 of a cup of almonds soaked overnight, 1½ teaspoons of ground chia seeds, 2 dates, small pinch of salt, optional. For the vegan filling, the ingredients are 1½ teaspoon of agar flakes, 3/4 cup of dates, 1 tablespoon of alcohol-free vanilla, juice of 1 lemon, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, 1.5 cups of the herbal chai. For the herbal chai, the ingredients are 1/4 nutmeg, chopped into several pieces, 1/2 tablespoon of dried ginger, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon chips, 1 teaspoon of roasted chicory root granules, 1/2 teaspoon of dried orange peel, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1 tablespoon of whole cardamom pods, 1/2 tablespoon of allspice seeds, 2 quarts or 1.8 liters of water.
For more information on the noble work by Reverend Beth Love, please visit eatfortheearth.org.
Gracious viewers, we are pleased to have this opportunity to share the special plant-based Thanksgiving dessert with you. Coming up next is the Surangama Sutra, 25 Means to Enlightenment, Session 5, Part 3 of 11, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. We wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving with lots of joy and laughter in this holiday season.
For free international vegan recipes and for language availability, please visit suprememastertv.com/veg and suprememastertv.com/schedule.